Leo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, we're going to go over the major planetary aspects and transits between May 19th and May 25th of 2023 and how they impact your natal sun. You don't have to know where your natal sun is located in Leo, as in the exact degree at which the sun sits in Leo. But it's more accurate. So I will be estimating the dates in and around the correlating dates to the angles and the degrees of the natal suns. But if you want the exact, then definitely get your natal chart. It's really quick. It's really easy. It's free. Just search free natal chart and a bunch of websites have it. You need your birth date, which you already have, and your birth time and birth location, all of which are found in your birth certificate. So it's real easy. But like I said, you can continue to watch the video because you don't need that information. I will be telling you the correlating dates. But it's a great thing to have, especially if you love astrology. That's the first thing you do is you get your natal chart. We're going to start really sort of zoomed out with the big stuff that's going to be impacting everybody. And then we'll focus that down onto the things that in particular Leos should be focused on. And then we will get into the exacts, these specifics for Leo and how things are impacting your day-to-day life because of how they're impacting your natal suns. So, big things. The big thing that's happening first when we start this week, today, 5/19, is the new moon in Taurus. At 28 degrees Taurus, the moon and the sun conjunct. Actually quite beautiful because it's also trine to Pluto. So this really kicks off a brand new beginning, almost like what I see as a butterfly, a sense of letting your wings spread. We can finally be free of our old self or some old ways. There's a total clean out and a lot of sort of abundance and almost reward in some way coming out of these new moons. So it's a wonderful new moon to manifest on, and you definitely should. I actually did a video how to manifest when the moon is in an earth sign, so check that out. It's on Born Without Boundaries, and it'll just give you some manifestation tips that will help you magnify your manifestation capabilities. And it's a wonderful time to manifest on a new moon anyway, but especially trine to Pluto, because it means you've healed, you've detoxed, you've cleansed, and so there's a freshness about it. On the 20th, I'm reading from my notes, guys, so that you know. On the 20th of May, we have Mars moving into Leo. So you get Mars, and that's actually going to sort of invigorate you and just amp up your vitality. And this is tremendously exciting energy, adventurous energy, virile energy. So it's really kind of infusing you with more vitality. I like that. I like that energy. And Mars is a lot happier in Leo than it is in Cancer. And then on the 21st, the sun, which is your ruling dignitary, moves into Gemini. And for a specific bunch of you, you're going to see that that your suns are sextile to the sun. So that will be extremely happy, like just happy, optimistic, awesome energy. Excuse my dog in the background. We have a major aspect that's happening between now and June 15th, and that is Jupiter is square to Pluto. This is an intense energy that can make people extra relentless and not give up and refuse to take no for an answer, which is actually really good as long as they don't turn that corner and go to the extreme and become ruthless about things. So that's an energy to be aware of. In the first couple of weeks, it's going to be more exaggerated and affect some of you directly because Pluto is in opposition to Mars, and Mars is going to be conjuncting some of your natal sun. So we'll talk about that. And then we also have Venus. Venus this week is in Cancer. She's very happy there, but she's square to Chiron, where she is right now, and that means just compromised sense of self-worth or value, especially when our own personal image is involved. But on the 23rd of this month, the 22nd, the moon goes into Cancer, but it's the 23rd that it conjuncts Venus, and that will volumize and make things extra emotional. And even though that may not be impacting you guys directly, you will be able to feel it because it will be more intense. So just an FYI. So let's get into Leo stuff, shall we? Where is the sun? I know it's easy. It's easy to know where the sun is because we always talk about it. Oh, it's Taurus season. Oh, it's Gemini season. It is Gemini season. It's the beginning of Gemini season. The sun moves into Gemini, like I said, on the 21st. And this is really fun and playful energy. It's intellectual. It's lighthearted. It's social. It's friendly. It's intellectually curious, and it's conversational. So the sun is very, I think, upbeat and happy in Gemini. Nothing bad going on there. Gemini's in a natural sextile to Leo. Some of you will be sextile to the sun's current position. Others will be square to the sun. We will be talking about that. But ultimately, this is a really nice place for the sun and a great way to enter into or prepare for the summer, because by June 21st, we will be entering into summer. So anyway, let's get into the specifics. So Leo 1, if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Leo, usually you're a July Leo. So you were born between July 22nd and 30th, July Leos. Your natal suns are going to be conjunct to Mars by the 20th. Now, those of you who are actually on the Cancer cusp, your natal suns will be technically in a conjunction even before that. Like they're conjunct the sun right now if you're watching this video on the 19th. But your natal suns are conjunct Mars. That means vitality. That means more energy. It also means not taking shit and being more aggressive. So be aware of that energy, but I think you'll just feel so much more amped up. Your natal suns are in opposition to Pluto. So this has been actually happening to you guys for a while. It means there's a lot of changes that are going on in your life. I think there's maybe conscious changes and more aggressive changes when Mars is involved. And so maybe you feel like you have more authority over them, or they're just sort of volumized and bigger but more tangible, more almost realistic for you, and they feel maybe more in your control even if they're not. So overall, I think that's a really good energy for you guys. Your natal suns are also square to Jupiter. Things are changing in big ways for you, and your life is being pushed forward. I think it's a really wonderful, vital time for you, but ultimately it does mean trying to catch up with all these changes all at the same time. So just an FYI, your natal suns will be square to Jupiter. For a while, for a couple of weeks, just an FYI. So know that it's not a bad energy. It just gets ahead of itself very easily. So calming yourself down and grounding yourself is very helpful for the next couple of weeks. Your natal suns are also square to Mercury. And I want to say this feels like your own mini Mercury retrograde. Mercury just went direct. I think you'll get a little bit of whiplash from that Mercury retrograde tail. It could be that it just, I don't know, your phone battery is dying, like all this crazy stuff. This stuff that's going to irritate you. It's not going to end you, but just watch for Mercury retrograde kind of impacts. Read everything twice or get some advice if you have to read. This isn't a great time to sign any kind of contracts. It's not a great time to make any kind of commitments. And it's not a great time to take any tests or do any interviews, because you'll be stumbling over your words and your brain is not as witty or acute as it could be. So just an FYI. It's okay. It'll go away soon. Mercury is about to, moves really quickly. So you won't have to deal with it for that long. If you're on the cusp of Leo and Cancer, you are trine to Neptune. Yeah, you're trine to Neptune. That means very creative energy. So when it comes to this, it's a beautiful, because Neptune and Pluto are sextile as well. So this opposition to Pluto and square to Jupiter isn't so bad anymore. It's just that there's such positive ways to use this relentless energy. You will get things done, especially when you're driven by your heart, your integrity, and your kind of kindness toward others or concern for others. If you're driven that way, I think this is going to be a very beautiful time in your life, to be honest with you. And it's your natal suns who are sextile to the sun, so you are going to be shining and have this just air of optimism and happiness and vitality, and you'll be shining so much that doors might open for you. Opportunities will come just from your charisma and how happy you make people when you walk into the door. This is a very happy feeling week for you, so enjoy. Leo 2s. So this is for Leo who are born in the beginning of August, maybe about the first 10 days of August. You guys would be Leo 2s. Venus is actually in an interesting position, especially since she's conjunct the moon on the 23rd. Something could blindside you when it comes to, I didn't know I felt that way about myself, or I didn't realize this was happening, or I didn't realize maybe we had this issue, or even financial issues. So just be aware that day. It could be extra sensitive and emotional for you guys. You have a square to Uranus, which is a long-term transit. That means just curveballs coming at you that you don't want to deal with and don't know how to field. So expect the unexpected. It could get kind of irritating. At the beginning, so you guys, because of where Mercury is, if you were born around the 10th or 11th, just you guys, you will be square to Mercury retrograde too. Mercury is not in retrograde, but you will be square to Mercury as well. So right now, this week, so if you start feeling like I thought Mercury was out of retrograde, it'll have that impact because Mercury is square to your sun. So I would also recommend for you guys to not, if you can avoid it, sign any contracts or do any interviews or take any tests this week. If your phone battery's running low, go get it fixed. Don't buy any new major electronics this week. It's never a good time when Mercury is square your sun, just an FYI. And then you guys are trying to Chiron, which means you're healing, especially from physical ailments, but you're healing those horrible things, and you're learning from them and you're growing from them. So this is actually a beautiful few years for you to actually be able to heal those old wounds and figure out how to incorporate them into the new version of you. We have Leo 3s now. Leo 3s, your natal suns are square to the current sun, which means there could just be a questioning yourself, a sense of maybe butting heads with people, other egos, or just questioning your own ego, some sense of your own ego or coming up against other egos is what I'm saying. Clash of the egos this week. It could be also that you are uber egotistical this week. So just an FYI, that could be why other people are meeting you, egos meeting ego, because this is the square, you're kind of butting heads this way. Take a deep breath and try to listen more than you speak. We have also a trine to Jupiter, which is beautiful energy. This could be very fortunate, very abundant energy. This is very optimistic energy, and it's a way to make peace. So this week, at least, that square to the sun may actually end up coming out or turning out very well, because Jupiter trine your natal sun is going to help you out a lot. Jupiter is now in Taurus, so this could have to do with growing your finances, expanding your finances, or just watching your 3D or tangible abundance expand. You could also be eating more and celebrating more and wanting to indulge in sensual pleasures more. So enjoy it, but also be aware of it, because you could put on a few pounds and spend a little bit more than you have. Just an FYI. And then you have long-term transits. Those of you who are on the cusp, the Cancer cusps, you are opposite Saturn. That means butting heads or just work getting to you, or butting heads with authority figures or rules, laws, regulations, contracts that come up that you're still obligated to. Those things almost never making you feel at rest. This will be going on for into the next year, so be aware of that. I don't think there's anything very much exacerbating that this week. But yeah, but yeah, I think you'll be fine with that. And then there's also a quincunx to Neptune, which is long term as well. Could be like, just feel like fog brain. So yeah, just like fog brain, not seeing things very clearly, or people trying to take advantage of you or bamboozle you. Especially now this week with a square to the sun, people could really play you very easily. You could be in a very vulnerable position if they try to play on your ego, because that square to the sun is going to make you more egotistical than usual. And with that quincunx to Neptune, you're more vulnerable for believing what isn't true. It's almost like you're easily fooled, because you're a little bit in la la land. That's not something to worry about. There's just a sense of this week, especially with the trine to Jupiter, you could be so optimistic that somebody easily plays your ego, and it's not really in your best interest. Just an FYI. I love you guys so much. Please leave your comments below. I love to know. And before you leave, like this video and subscribe to the channel, and definitely come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot and enjoy your week ahead tarot card reading. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, Leo.